finale at home. They finished the season 40-42, not quite at 500, one game below 500, but considering the way that the season is gone, that makes sense for the Chicago Bulls. They finished the game out. Zach LaVine is the leading scorer with only 26 minutes with 17 points. DeMar DeRozan scores 16. Nikola Vucevic does not keep his double-double streak alive. He goes 8-7 from the field. We got a Dalen Terry signing. Dalen Terry goes 3 of 6 from the field for 10 points, and Carlik Jones also scores 11 points. This is a win that really didn't mean anything, but it's good to see the Bulls finish the regular season with a win in front of their home crowd, considering how many close games the Bulls were not able to bring home when it was all said and done. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun. But first, we got to play the winning intro. Hopefully not for the last time this season, but let's get into
it. You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
I see red, I see red, I see red, I see red, yeah, I see red, I see red, I see red.
We have confirmation that Billy Donovan does indeed know who Marko Simonovic is. Marko Simonovic with a plus-minus of plus 15, going 1-3 from the field, hitting a three-pointer, scoring 4 points, 1 rebound in this game, 3 personal. That is why Marko Simonovic has trouble getting on the floor. 3 personal fouls in 8 minutes. That's tough. That's a tough go. But at least we did see Marko Simonovic. We know that he is alive. He is not in Billy Donovan's gum dungeon. So there you go with that. But this was a game that, listen, it was cool to watch. I'm glad that the Bulls got the dub. You guys know we always want to see the Bulls with a dub. That's what it boils down to. But overall, listen, the Bulls got the win against the Detroit Pistons. They finished their season off strong. And let's see what they got in store for us in the play-in on Wednesday. But, you know, that's really what it is. I don't have a lot to break down with this game. Killian Haize is still going to be a monster at the NBA level at some point. Wiseman with a double-double in this game. Jaden Ivey goes, he's 16. He goes 7-20 from the field for 16 points. Even Bagley, who I would have loved to come on the Chicago Bulls, goes 5-12 for 12 points, 7 rebounds in only 19 minutes. But, you know, this isn't a game where it's a long, deep analysis breakdown. The Bulls scored 36 points in the fourth quarter to seal the victory. It is what it is, man. It just is what it is. The Bulls won every single quarter but the third quarter, and they tied that quarter. So, you know, the Bulls came in, they took care of business in the way that they needed to, and that just is what it is. Let's go and get over to the comments. Stacey King just sounded like he developed a better game plan than broadcasting in that fourth quarter than what Billy will come up with. Listen, Stacey King would be an amazing coach. He's talked about he doesn't want to deal with the headaches of being a head coach, but I honestly do believe that Stacey King would be an amazing coach. Stree Harper says, how would you rate the season for P. Will, Kobe, and Io? Well, we'll get into that. That's postseason content. We'll have that down. I'll break down everybody's season. Terry Taylor showed me this game. You're definitely going to have to give him some minutes Wednesday and use his size and energy, but knowing Billy, he likes this small. Well, he won't be able to be on the roster. Keep in mind, you have to shrink the roster. And there's no way that Terry Taylor is going to be on the roster above DJJ or Javonte Green. So he's a two-way player. He's not on an actual NBA contract. So there's zero chance that Terry Taylor is on the play-in roster. So you might as well go ahead and see that and you're not going to see him at all. Marco from Certification Poppy. Yeah, Marco came in and did the thing. Marco Polo, we found him. Stacey King on Marko Simonovic. That's crazy, bro. Crazy. Another fun game. That's all I need to see. Yeah, I mean, that's really what it is. Like I said, there's not a lot to take out, break down this game. It is what it is. My question, MC Season, listen, why are you looking at Marco's neck that way? You got a neck fetish, bruh? Not what's going on? Like, what is it that you need to tell us about that your analysis over Marco is how long his neck is? Where is your head? Where were your antennas during this game that you were worried about Marko Simonovic's his neck length? Like, this what we talking about? I gotta mess with you, MC Season. DJ Lovelace says that hat and shirt. Come on now. You know, like I said, fire content and bull strip. That's always what you're going to get from me. I appreciate that, though, bro. If we make the playoffs just to run into the Bucks again, hey, listen, that would be the Bulls season, right? I said it before. Like, the Bulls are the type to either win their first playing game by like a large margin and then get blown out in the second playing game, or the Bulls look damn good in 2 playing games and we're like, hey, did you see that? And then get swept in the first round. Like, it's going to be one or the other, right? Wiseman almost murdered Marco too, dodging death out there. Yeah, that's why it's hard for Marco to get out on the court. Man, Marco is nice, and I like his IQ and offense, but his defense and physical strength are lacking. That's really the only thing holding him back. Marco has everything you want from a modern day big man offensively. Everything. And I don't say that lightly. Marco is not great. He's an above average passer. He can shoot the three consistently. He can shoot the mid. He's almost a 3-level scorer as a big man. He rebounds the ball efficiently. He doesn't block shots, but he does put body on people defensively. But other than that, everything else, the defensive IQ, the understanding how to operate in the pick and roll, and God forbid you try to use him in a switch heavy defense, it's barbecue chicken out there. But Marco legitimately has the perfect skill set offensively for a modern day big man. Perfect. And I do not use those words lightly. I mean that seriously. And if he ever gets with a coach, like for example, if Marco Simonovic went to the San Antonio Spurs, remember Tiago Splitter? He'd be the offensive version of Tiago Splitter where he gives enough, right? He's competent enough defensively with just that defensive scheme that you'll be able to take advantage of him offensively. But Billy Donovan and his bubblegum dungeon in which he doesn't develop anybody, it's just not going to happen. Bulls done, playoff coming, Bears around the corner. Listen, I am so excited for Bears. The draft's almost here. I can't wait to that live stream. By the way, why are everyone shouting Karlik the MVP? I must be missing. He was the G League MVP. He's the G League MVP. My little brother Omar, I don't even know if Omar's older or younger than me, but my brother Omar's in the building. What's going on, big bro? Glad to have you in the building. Giovanni says, I wouldn't mind seeing Karlik as our third string point guard besides DeMar, Zach, Cody, and maybe Pat. Karlik Jones can actually create good shots for himself. Do you remember Antonio Blakeney? Karlik Jones is too small. He's not quick enough on the dribble. He's terrible defensively. He's not a really good passer either. Karlik Jones is a great G League scorer. But in the NBA level, he's not even good enough to be a third string point guard. He's just not. I'm sorry. Not one that you want to rely on. Could he be a back of the bench player, play the Matt Thomas role? Maybe, but even Matt Thomas was better defensively. To me, Karlik Jones, and keep in mind, I've watched every G League game but 2 this season. Karlik Jones, just at the NBA level, his speed is not enough. At the G League level, he can get by. But that scoring that he even does at the G League level, he's not going to be able to do that at the NBA level. He just cannot get it together that much. This game was big for Iowa's confidence going into the postseason. I haven't seen my guy even attempt to ISO his defender this season until today. Hey, great point there. There's something that I did talk about in my pre-recorded video today, was just how you can hopefully build a little bit of confidence for Io going into the playoffs, because he is going to be in the rotation. So, we'll see that. Vincent Harris says, can't wait for Wednesday for both reasons. I will be happy if we win, but at the same time, I can't wait till the season's over with. Definitely understand you there. MC Season says, I was scouting my opponents to roast their asses. That's fair. You gotta, like a great diss rapper, you gotta do your research so you can have the roast in your back pocket. We getting in the playoffs and pushing Milwaukee in round one. Optimistic Bulls fan. Hey, listen, bro, from your mouth to Jesus Devontae Christ's ears, bro. Marco is a good offensive player. Can he gain 20 pounds of muscle to gain some strength? Well, he already put on 15 pounds of muscle in one offseason. From the end of last season to the beginning of this offseason, he put on 14 to 15 pounds of muscle. So, we'll see. I do think like Marco is going to I don't think he's going to be one of those players that you want to add too much muscle to his frame, because then it may affect his mobility offensively, but we'll see. What player is not under contract would you love to see return next year? I don't know. At this point, I don't want to see anybody. I want to see everybody return and want to see nobody return at the same time. We need some wholesale changes. Until we add what we need in size and shooting, I don't care who comes back, because that needs to be the first thing that we address. Haize, no matter the outcome, I want to see us play with heart, soul, and energy for 96 minutes of basketball. I think we can beat the Raptors and take on the Heat or the Hawks after that. Hey, listen, bro. The Bulls can play with anybody, but we'll see. We'll see. I want Kobe and Vooch to return next season, and maybe Drummond if he doesn't choose to opt out. I agree with, I don't want to see Vooch go. Like, I know some Bulls fans, Vooch gets all the hate from some Bulls fans, but I would love to see Vooch come back. If Kobe can improve his defense, I know Marco can as well. The problem is Billy will ever develop him or play him at all to show his development. Well, keep in mind, not everything is 1 for 1. Just because one player can improve, that doesn't mean all players can improve. Marco Simonovic let me say this. He can be a competent big man, right? As far as defensively. Like, he can do enough defensively where you'll still always look at him and be like, he is not good defensively. But he can probably learn to do enough to where you're like, okay, if you have solid defenders around him, you can definitely take advantage of that. It's cool to see that moment with Zach DeMar and Saint. Saint? Who's Saint? I must be missing something. I want to see a lot of changes in the offseason, but I'm really going to miss this team's chemistry. Well, listen, the team's chemistry off the court is one thing. The team's chemistry on the court is a completely different thing, and we're struggling there. So I get what you're saying, though. Definitely get what you're saying with that one. Omar says, when the season's over with, you will have still have live streams on here during the summer. Some, not nearly as much. So usually during the summer, we do this. I'll be live during the draft, even though the Bulls don't have a pick. I'll co-stream it here into NBA Central. I'll be live. I'll probably go live at the open of free agency just to see if any deals are announced right when free agency opens, kind of like how Lonzo Ball was. And then, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't the Andre Drummond signing announced pretty early in free agency? I can't remember, but I'll be live for the first day of free agency for probably about the first hour and a half of free agency opening. And then I usually do random live streams throughout the summer. I call them. We do the crisis hotline sometimes. We'll do some stuff like that over the summer for sure. Omar says, also, are you planning on going to the Bulls Fest in August? I'm going to be there for sure. Yeah, I'm there for sure. No questions about that. I'm there for sure. Fingers crossed the Hawks will beat the Heat and we will beat the Raptors just to face the Heat. Hey, listen, that's probably how it'll go. Saint is Zach's son. Okay. All right. I didn't know Zach's son's name. That's my fault. That's actually dope. I like the name Saint. Got to give Terry Taylor some minutes Wednesday. That's from Nice. He will not be on the roster Wednesday. So keep in mind, you have to shrink your roster. Now, I don't know if it counts for playing. I know playoffs are different. You have to shrink your roster, but I highly doubt he's available because he's on a two-way contract. They would have had to convert him to a full NBA deal before now, and he's definitely not going to be on the roster before Derek Jones Jr. or Javonte Green. So Terry Taylor is not going to be on the postseason roster. I can tell you that right now. Chicago Bulls Central may be dormant, but NBA Central is going to be popping. NBA Central is going to be. We have a game plan how we're going to attack free agency. NBA Central is going to be legit this offseason. So doing a crisis holiness during the postseason hotline. I know you meant a hotline. A crisis hotline. Yeah, I always do it during the postseason because Bulls fans freak out. The moment, you know how this is how it happens, right? So let's say there's a rumor by some random writer who says, I was talking to an unnamed basketball exec, and that basketball exec told me that the Bulls are considering trading for DeAndre Ayton if they get the number 1 overall pick. That's how the headline will go. And then DeAndre Ayton will be traded to Timbuktu, and Bulls fans will be like, oh my God, Acme failed again. How could you not trade for this? And it's like, calm down. First of all, that article wasn't even legit. Second of all, chill the fuck out, right? Chill out. Dwayne Casey just resigned as the Pistons head coach. Damn. He coached his last game, was like, yeah, I'm out. He did the Magic Johnson, I ain't gonna be here. Like, that's so funny. That's hilarious, man. When the Bulls season is over, I'm going to take a few months off from the Chicago Bulls. I'm not going to think about the Chicago Bulls for a few months. Vincent Harris, listen, if you can do that, more power to you. Even before I was a content creator, it never worked for me. There are times where I'm like, listen, I don't care about this team. I'll see you at the opening and training camp. And I'm sitting there looking at every bit of news that comes out. So that's what Inside the Chicago Bull reports. Facts. Inside the Chicago Bulls be like,
Well, guys, I was talking to an NBA insider, and that NBA insider told me that, guess what, guys? You guys will never believe this, guys. Listen, I've been doing my due diligence. So, guys, guess what? You guys are going to love this. The Chicago Bulls are planning on trading DeMar DeRozan, Ayo Dosunmu, one of Michael Jordan's testicle hairs, and we will be trading that for Luka Doncic and Christian Wood. Oh, my God. God, guys.
That's how Inside the Chicago Bulls will report that. Absolutely. That's funny. Oh, man. Nah, bro, this live stream giving me last day of school vibes. We need 5 more regular season games. Hey, that is the feel of this, bro. That's definitely the feel of this. Thank you, Haize, for holding us down during the season. You the best, bro. I appreciate that, Dwayne Taylor, man. And listen, it's our second season since we've been around. So we've been around for about a year and a half now. It's the second season, and we're not stopping anytime soon, man. I'm glad we've grown so much this season. And just, seeing you guys as well and the family that's developing here, I really do appreciate that, man. So Battler Payne says, oh, Lord, here comes Haize with the tiny guy's voice. Land of the Laptons. That's funny. Oh, man. Haize, I know you saw Zach make the deep voice before the game. So, man, I swear I started to post that to the shorts, and I was like, listen, I'm not even going to do it. I'm trying not to make fun of players as much, because the last thing I want is me to reach out for a player and they be like, I can't do that, bro. I can't come on your show because Zach saw you talking about, his people, and if I do it, then he's going to be looking at me sideways. So I'm trying to calm down on that a little bit, but hey, it is what it is. Haize, just wait till Inside the Chicago Bulls starts reporting stuff you say on here. Oh, bro, he did it to Pat the designer this year. Like, I called Pat. Literally, Inside the Chicago Bulls was on one of his episodes. He said this.
Oh, guys, listen, I was talking to my guy, Pat the designer, and, Pat the designer said this.
And I literally called Pat. I'm like, Pat, I didn't know you was, cool with Inside the Chicago Bulls. He's like, I've never talked to that motherfucker a day in my life. Me and him cracked up about that for, 5 minutes of just laughing, man. It was hilarious. UD just finished with a higher game score in his last game than Ben Simmons. Well, that's not me and you, Kobe White. Please resign with the Bulls. We almost scored as many points as Ben Simmons did this season, and we didn't check into an actual NBA game. Damn, it's really only been a year and a half. I found you at the start of last season, and I thought you've been around a lot longer than that. Nope. So my first episode, I believe. My first episode was when the Bulls signed Lonzo Ball. I think that was my first episode on this channel. When the Bulls signed Lonzo Ball was when I launched, because I was always planning on launching with the starter free agency. And yeah, it was, because the Bulls signed Lonzo Ball with 2 minutes into free agency. That's why they got the tampering charge. So maybe I did an episode before then, but I didn't start too far before the signing of Lonzo Ball. So yeah, that there you go. If we lose Vooch, could we sign Christian Wood? I mean, anything's possible, but it's definitely not an upgrade at all. That's what I'll say. So yeah, I guess we'll see on that. No matter what happens this offseason, I hope Vooch and Kobe are here next season, as both of them and Zach have been my 1, 2, 3 this season. Hey, listen, I really want to see Zach come back. I absolutely want to see Zach come back. That Pat post on Twitter had me cry. Man, listen, when I tell you, this may be team, no, I ain't gonna tell you where I was. But when I tell you, when I saw that post, I legitimately did, the little meme where the old guy, he takes off his sunglasses and puts on his, because I had my sunglasses on. And I was like, wait a second, hold on, let me see this real quick. Oh shit. That's exactly how I responded to it. I was like, God damn. The first episode was August 2021. So yeah, okay, almost 2 years. We're almost 2 years in. That's crazy. Hey, listen, this has been an amazing journey is what I'll say. Yeah, so we're 17 months, still a little over a year and a half, but yeah. I get it, but motherfucker is still able to hit threes, so what the fuck? Why did he only bench ride? Hey, listen. That's between him and Jesus. I don't know, man. Haize, thanks for the season. You are the best, bro. I appreciate that, man. You guys are the best, because without you guys, I'll just be an idiot here talking to myself. This show is literally therapy for most Bulls fans. I appreciate the channel. Keep grinding. I appreciate you, Silk Ron. You've been around for a minute too, brother. Dream player to come to the Bulls, Brandon Ingram. There's no Brandon Ingram or Bobby Portis. Those would literally be my 1-2 players to add to. And for those that don't know, I'm a huge Brandon Ingram guy. I think the world of Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram and Bobby Portis. Those would be my 2 guys, pie in the sky, without thinking contracts, without thinking anything. Those would be the 2 guys I would love to see added to the Chicago Bulls. Hey, it's happy Easter to you and the fam. Glad to see you, sir. You too, Eej. Glad to see you, brother. Can we get today Tony's brother's face also? Oh, that's did Tony Brothers coach this? I mean, was he a ref this game? Shout out to Tony Brothers. Shout out to Tony Brothers coming through. That is creepy, fam. Why do y'all allow me to do the weird shit that I do on this channel? That's weird. Shout out to Tony Brothers though. By the way, since we shouting out people, hold on. Shout out to Trey Young for coming through. Shout out to Trey Young. Hopefully you feeling better for the play-in, brother. Yeah. Trey Young's mama, Trey Young daddy, Trey Young. Shout out to them all for coming through. Shout out to that whole Young family. But let's keep it pushing. Let's see. Your boy Marco finally saw some court time. The first shot he took looked clean as fuck. I'm telling you, offensively, Marco doesn't have many holes. Not a popular answer, but I hope this is not Debo's last season with the Bulls. Hopefully we can somehow keep him. I mean, we don't have to somehow keep him. We just don't have to trade him. We have him under contract, so we'll end up seeing what that is, but, we'll see. Man, I seen that Pat post and cried laughing, bro. It's no way that they got the same hair, mustache, and build as well. Listen, it's hilarious. I will pull up the picture, but I don't even remember the dude's name now. Damn, I don't remember the singer's name. Otherwise, I'll pull up the picture for everyone, but hey. Roderick Knight says, "Ayo, I'm from Philly, but a longtime Bulls fan. Love your show. Wifey gets mad when I start singing I See Red. Haha, that's funny. It definitely sticks in your head, that's for sure. I guarantee that the Bulls will win these two playing games. Who was with me?" You made me on your own on that one, brother. Haize, thank you for implementing the Cognac Boys and Steve-O to the channel to give you some days off. Hope to see more from Big Kev and Ricky next season. Listen, Ricky knows. Ricky's the unofficial second host of this channel. Whenever Ricky wants to do content, Ricky has the open door. That's my boy. That's my actual friend in real life. Ricky has gotten to the point to where in real life, if Ricky called me right now and Ricky was like, "I need you to come through Detroit. We got beef." I'm showing up. No issue. And we gonna settle it how we need to settle it with whoever fucking with my homie. But so Ricky has an open door. That's just I've left that up to Ricky. He knows what it is. And so we'll see what that is. As far as Big Kev, Cognac Boy, Steve-O, you'll be seeing them next season because I'm gonna need time. I'm going to more Bulls games next season. Little plug on that. So you'll be seeing them more next season as well, and we'll see how we can integrate them. Thanks, man. Oh, no problem, Samuel. You're not an idiot talking to yourself. You're an idiot talking to a crowd of people. Well, thank you for that, MC Season. While you doing scouting reports on Marco's neck length. Weird. What up, Haize? Thank you for everything this season. Your live streams always make me laugh, whether we win or lose. Hoping the Bulls can manage to beat the Raptors from Emmanuel. Hey, listen, from your mouth to God's ears, bro. I definitely appreciate that, man. I hope that they can. We'll see. What you describe of Marco is basically Nikola Jokic. Is he better defender by a margin? Nikola Jokic is a far better defender than Marko Simonovic. Far better. It's not even close. That would be like comparing DeMar DeRozan and Andre Iguodala defensively, and not this Andre Iguodala, prime Andre Iguodala. Like there's a big wide chasm there. Got to disagree with Omar so much on that. Would rather see Tony Brothers than DeMar on this team. DeMar staying is predicated on a lot of other folks being moved for shooters and size. You'd rather see Tony Brothers on this team? The referee? What? That's okay. Hey, that's a flex. Do your thing. Do your thug thistle, my friend. Do your thug thistle. Hold on. So we got him. Somebody gave me the name. I couldn't remember. See, look, bam. You can't tell me if you replace this picture with the Zinnies, this is Pat the designer. Like literally. It's not even no different. Like it literally, you know how they always say that everybody literally has a clone in the world? This is literally Pat the designer's clone. I'm not even saying that to flame him. That's not even a flame. This dude looks just like Pat the designer. That is Pat the designer. Pat the designer has a little bit more space between his mustache and top lip. But other than that, that is Pat the designer. Man, they cloned my brother, bro. That's wild. That is wild. GEO says, Haize, whether DeMar's here or not next season, I think DeMar's going to ball against his old team this Wednesday. Hey, if he's definitely be motivated to. We'll see. Butter Biscuit says, finally, the tournament is over. It's not, because we still got another game there, brother. J Max says, Haize, that kid Jones can shoot. I think he should be on the playoff roster. You can always use perimeter shooting off the bench, but not if you can't. He's not quick enough to get the shot off against top level actual NBA talent. And he won't be. Did Carly get converted to an actual NBA deal? He may be on the roster, but he's not going to play any. Ease Instrument says 670 the score needs to hire you. You're knowledgeable and funny as hell. You got talent, man. I appreciate that. Here's the thing. If I'm on the radio, it's gonna have to be Sirius XM because I gotta be me, man. I gotta be me. I'm definitely hit up the season's opener and I'm gonna try to get a game at Madison Square Garden. Ooh, that would be fire. That would definitely be fire. Yep, I would rather we run Tony Brothers out for 20 minutes a night. His eyebrows per 36 is off the chain. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. That is funny. That is hilarious. Winnie City Vid says, yo, Haize, this was a great game. Nothing special, but impressive. I think the team got a good feeling coming into the play-in. Let's hope so. Let's really hope so. I never liked him anyway. Petty motherfucker. Shouts to everyone. That's funny. That's funny. Archangel says, don't care what anyone says. I'm sad the season is over almost, and I'm going to miss the Bulls game so much until next year. Oh, don't get me wrong. Right? I'm when I say that I'm ready for the season to be over, I only mean that in the sense that I'm ready to see what Acme does to change this roster. I'm tired of waiting. I'm tired of seeing this roster struggle. I'm tired of seeing this roster allow for so many three-pointers and don't shoot threes. But I'm going to be extremely excited to get Bulls basketball back. I just hope we're fielding a better team. I just want us to get Chris Boucher and OG Anunoby. That's highly unlikely, but I like Chris Boucher a lot. What's good, Haize, my boy from Super Duper Danko? I'm glad the season is over, but I'm looking forward to the play-in just because it's the Bulls game. Really just want to see what this offseason about to do. I completely agree with you. Completely agree with you. That's AK got to make his money again this offseason. Got to make this money again this offseason. Ian, I don't know how, Ian probably. I think DeMar's holding back P. Will. He needs that small forward spot. Listen, it doesn't matter. What spot Patrick Williams plays does not matter if you're not. Patrick Williams can play the four. If DeMar's not on the roster, it doesn't matter. Like, that opens up more shots for P. Will, and maybe Billy Donovan's going to actually call plays for P. Will. Until Billy Donovan does that, it doesn't matter what position P. Will plays. Small forward isn't all of a sudden going to make P. Will a better player. It's just not. No, Bulls should have traded Billy for Dwayne Casey. That's funny. Is it just me or is this season went by quick? Oh, man, this season's been way too stressful for me to say it went by quick. I felt every bit of the season. Every month of this season I felt. Every single month. That's it, man. Every single month. I'm giving us a 60% chance on Wednesday's game. How about you? 50%. I'm 50-50. And that's just what the Bulls have been this season. That's where I sit at with this right now. What? BLG Jet says this season been long as fuck. Yeah, it's been a long ass season. To be honest, I'm ready to see how Benny would do as a coach at this point. That is absolutely fucking hilarious. Like, real talk. That is absolutely hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. This season has only been a drag feeling because we've been on 50. We've been so 50 on this season. No, listen, the Bulls have had 50-50 seasons. Like, I always compare this season to the 07-08 Chicago Bulls. That team was worse. I think they had a worse record than this team. And the season still flew by because the Bulls competed. That Bulls team, they didn't win a lot of games, but they played with heart. So, we're sub 500, but you're 50-50. You're a better man than me. Yeah, I'm 50-50 on this team, man. Haize, which two teams can you see making of the finals and who you got right now winning the chip? I'm going to go Boston in the East. And then I'm going to listen, this is going to be wild. I'm going to say we're going to get a finals of Boston and the Memphis Grizzlies this season. I think Ja's going to be locked in more this season. And I think overall the Memphis Grizzlies, after what they went through last season, are going to be better prepared. I'm going to say Boston Celtics and the Memphis Grizzlies, and Boston's winning that series 4-2. That's what I'm saying. It's my opinion. Not everybody's going to agree with that, and that's absolutely fine. Marco in the hyperbolic chamber, I'm telling you, Jokic 2.0. No. So people got to understand, you can have similar skill sets, but the caliber of player you are is different. Marco does have a similar offensive skill set to Jokic. He does. But he's not the caliber of the player Jokic is. So it's completely different. So, we'll see. I want to see the Kings versus Bulls, but that won't happen. Listen, if we get a Kings versus Bulls NBA Finals, first of all, whoever bet on the Bulls and the Kings to make the finals, we're talking about they're walking away with, off a $20 bet, they'll probably win $20 million. Real talk. That'd be crazy. Relax. Ja only wins when he's on the bench in street clothes. No, he wins more than that. I'll say Milwaukee or New York represent the East. And listen, here's what I'll say to you. And this is just my own bias, Omar. I will never in my life ever predict the New York Knicks to win the finals because I hate the Knicks. So that's just a biasness on my side, but I can admit my biasness. The New York Knicks can have a team of Jordan, Kobe, Dennis Rodman, Karl Malone. No, I'm going to replace Karl Malone. I'm going to say Jokic. With the bench coming off the bench, they can have LeBron James, Allen Iverson, and I still would not pick the Knicks to win a title because it's the New York Knicks. They're always going to find a way to F it up. Always. Facts, that would be the nuttiest bet in the history of the world. Listen, somebody makes that bet, that's crazy. The only way I see Marco getting heavy minutes is if Dalen, Ayo, and Pat develop into the defenders we know they have the potential to be. Well, that's not the only way they can get minutes. Now, you may say that's the only way that he can start, but he can get minutes elsewhere, right? It's just Willie, though. Memphis, talk about a hot take, right? I got Milwaukee in either Phoenix or LAC with the Bucks winning 4-3. Listen, the Bucks, again, pettiness. I will never pick the Milwaukee Bucks. But Giannis is the best player in the NBA to me. I love Giannis. I love the Bucks team. I like a lot of but the pettiness, I can never pick the Bucks to win a title. So there you go. I'm petty. Haize said the Knicks super squad loses to Jimmy Butler and third stringers. Yep. Absolutely. They'll find a way. Jordan would break his ankle on coming down off of a dunk. Jokic would separate his shoulder walking through. No, you know what? Nikola Jokic would step on glass because it's New York. Just coming into the stadium, it'll lacerate his foot. He'll be out for the whole series. Like it's New York, right? Something always happens to the New York Knicks, bro. Karl Malone, what is he going to do? I mean, prime Karl Malone is going to cook. Clippers, Celtics finals. Ooh, that would be a super fun final series. I can't lie, that would be fun. If you look at both conferences 1 through 10, they can all beat each other. I mean, that's the NBA. Anybody can beat anybody. But there's just certain, like, I'm not picking anybody but Milwaukee and Boston to make it to the finals. Even Philly. Like, Philly's damn good. But it's like, I have not seen enough from them in the playoffs where I'm like, yeah, they got enough to get past Boston or Milwaukee. The Cavaliers could make it interesting. I'm not going to say that they can win, but like, depending on the matchup, the Cavs could be one of those teams where it comes down to game 7 in a double overtime game and they just don't make it to the finals. But, I like the Cavs roster a lot. I like the way that they play. Cavs have honestly been one of my favorite teams to watch this season. I hate to admit that because they play in Cleveland, which is the worst city in America. So I hope Giannis joins the Bulls in the near future. I mean, I don't see why nobody would want to come to Chicago. You don't see why anybody wouldn't want to come to Chicago? You need those Zenny glasses then, bro. Base God says Bulls making it to the second round. Listen, that's some good weed, brother. That's some good weed. The Cavaliers are a pretty young team. They're not experienced, but they play great and impressive. Definitely agree with that. Worst city is St. Louis? No. Cleveland's way worse than St. Louis. Cleveland is like the booty hole of the Midwest, right? There's a lot of niggas that eat ass, but it's a shitty booty hole. So if you eating a shitty booty hole, that's on you. Like, Cleveland is literally the worst city in America. It's always dark there. There's a permanent cloud over the city. There's nothing like when you walk in the city, you gotta get vaccinated because there are floating STDs in Cleveland that you ain't even gotta have sex to get them. It's the city of Cleveland disease. Like, you don't want to go to Cleveland. Cleveland is literally the worst place in the world. The Cavs are playing with house money right now. No one expected them to do anything, but they can legitimately beat Philly or Boston if it comes down to it. We'll see. We'll see. When are you and Path Designer going to be on the Zenny commercials? I'm not going to be in those Zenny's commercial. I'm not wearing big ass white frames. Like, first of all, my face is too long for those big ass box ass square frames. These rectangle frames are me pushing it as is. I ain't like, calm down on that one. Matthew says, bro, why did you have to say that I'm eating? Unless you eating ass currently, it has nothing to do with what you eating. Philly had 3 teams make the finals this year and they all lost. The 76ers ain't doing nothing. Well, you know what? Now I want to see Philly make the finals and lose. Just go ahead and let's make it 4-0 for Philly teams in the finals. That would be hilarious. I hate that the Cavs are a much better constructed team than we are, man. Listen, it's tough. It's tough. If we believe in AK, does that mean we win both play-ins and take the Bucks to 6 games, maybe 7? Listen, you can believe that if you want to. You can believe that if you want to. They got to show me. I'm gonna believe it when I see it, right? That's where I'm at with this Bulls team. I'm gonna believe it where I see it placed right now, man. Windy City Vid says, I feel like Philly, Cleveland, New York can make the Eastern Conference. Eastern Conference Finals? Yeah, those teams can make the Eastern Conference Finals. But I'm not picking them to make it out of that. Brandon says, Haize, I have no expectations for us Wednesday. It is what it is at this point. Listen, I've been there since about 2 weeks into the season. It is what it is, man. Can they do it? Can they make it interesting? Yeah, the Bulls have the capability of doing a lot, but we'll see. Bulls will be lucky to get 1 game with Milwaukee, but they are not getting out the play-in. We'll see. We'll see. Ain't nothing wrong with eating A unless you're doing it in Cleveland. Then you nasty. That's accurate. That's very accurate. Very, very accurate. But all right, y'all, man. I'm gonna go. Like, it's the last day of school, man. This is weird. We got at least one summer class coming up. And we'll be breaking it down then. I'm looking forward to that. But man, this season has been long. This season has been fun. This season is, I will say this, man. The live streams have been on 10 all season. We roasted so many people. Reggie Mama our back still broke from the way that we roasted Reggie's mama. It's been so many memories this season. JDH talking about eating scripper booty. Like, it's been a long season, man. It's been a long season. That's crazy. That's wild, man. But BLJ says, it's graduation day, Haize. You got to knight someone with the wrench. Who's getting the wrench? Let's make it through the play-in. We'll wait. We'll have the ceremony after the play-in game because we know we got one more game coming. Well, let's if we get eliminated in the first play-in game, that's when we'll get a new mod in here. Sup, Haize? Between Ime and Nick Nurse, who would you take? Because Mark Stein and Chris Haynes mentioned that just because Billy got extended don't mean that he stays. They're stupid. Don't listen. Mark Stein and Chris Hayes are idiots, and they're trying to drum up interest. They don't know this Bulls team. This Bulls team, Billy Donovan ain't getting fired anytime soon. He signed that extension. He's not getting fired anytime soon. It's not happening. Here's what. If the Bulls get completely blown out in the playing game and Billy Donovan gets fired, we're going to have literally a party on this live stream. I'm going to get drunk. But other than that, it's not happening, so I'm not even going to put my energy into that. Yoslin says, honestly going to miss listening to this podcast every day. Why? I don't stop being daily. I'm still daily throughout the offseason. You're still going to get your Bulls daily content. So you'll still get to hear me every single day throughout the summer. I'm not stopping because of that. So I won't be live streaming as much, of course, but the daily episodes don't stop. They'll tell you. I still daily episodes all throughout the summer. Now, there may be some times where if there's just not news, I probably won't have an episode. I'm not going to force it, but more times than not, you'll still get your daily episodes from me 7 days a week. So there you go with that one. But all right, y'all. I love you guys, man. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. I'll see you guys before then. Still be posting daily episodes leading up to that. And hey, that is what it is. Thank you for making this season an amazing season at what it was. I appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you're following the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns. BullCentralPod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text message and or voicemail, 773-270-2799. We are the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And that's it for the regular season. I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Let's play this winning outro from Nice. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.